Billy, France, our fourth largest source market, up 23% in the first half of this year. That's very impressive, and you must be pleased. What do you put the turnaround down to, and is it being maintained in the second half?
Well, first of all, the turnaround was I'm absolutely delighted with the turnaround, and it is being maintained. The forecast for the next several months from operators and airlines remain very, very positive. Turnaround is for a number of different reasons. Last year we had a very difficult year. We had ash clouds, we had bad weather, we had industrial difficulties in the French market. But this year in particular, what really turned around from my perspective is our advertising was much more effective. We went to the TV, we did different campaigns for different lengths of periods, and we got great feedback on that. We also invested very heavily into our online marketing, and our own site in the French market won the award as the best site in the French market. So we're delighted with that from a marketing perspective. But after a difficult year, there was a return to perhaps the fashionability of Ireland, and the return of the group market was noticeable, and it all came together. We also, had a rugby match in Ireland, so we can't take full credit for the great return in the first quarter.
It's encouraging.
But they have a good time, and they go back, and we all know that it's really referral that gets us over the line. And the French love Ireland. They have a great perception of Ireland. They tell their friends. We have good, effective advertising in the marketplace. And while the economy is still troubled in France, it is improved. The last 2 years were particularly difficult with industrial actions, but this is largely abated, and people want to take their holidays. And with our perception and our activities in the market, I think it's all come together.
Billy, you've just completed an in-depth review of the French market, and you're pretty positive about the future. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, we certainly are. We decided after a number of years it's time to take a second look at the French market and find out, are we optimal, are we fit for purpose in France? And to that extent, we did a fundamental root and branch review of France. We looked at our target markets, we looked at our opportunities, and what we wanted to do is make sure that we didn't just analyse the market, that we would identify target markets, we would see what the barriers to continuing or expanding the growth, and we put actionable points so that we would grow that market. And those ambitions have real numbers behind them. We want to get to 261,000 promotable visitors over the next number of years, and we have a number of different strategic actions that we will be taking as a result of that review that will be rolling out over the next 3 years.
And of course France is a huge country, and most of Ireland's market, I realise, is around the greater Paris area and the south and the west. But how do you reach that potential market, and are you comfortable with the level of resources you have to get those growth figures that are so impressive?
Well, how we reach the market, we obviously are very mindful of the access in particular areas, and that's what drives growth in particular regional areas. Obviously Paris is really, really well served. We've got double daily on Aer Lingus, we've got 7 flights a day from Air France, we've got EasyJet into Belfast, so well served in that area. And Paris would traditionally give us about 60% of the business there. It's where the main population is. But there's a huge amount of access throughout France. In fact, in the peak period, there's 24,000 seats on a weekly basis from France. And what we do is we make sure that we match marketing where there's a hub of connectivity into the Irish market. In terms of growth going forward, all the carriers tell me that they are there for one reason, and that's to continue with growth markets, and the operators tell me too that they see a resurgence in the Irish market, and they're there to capitalise on that goodwill and good feeling. So very positive.
It's promising. We're doing in ITIC, we're just doing a report on what's called new directions for tourism in the West, but one of the things that keeps coming through is the lack of direct access to the west of Ireland. Direct air access, that is, from Paris. Is that a problem, or is that something that maybe we may be able to make some progress on?
I think we can make some progress on it. Having said that, it should be remembered there's 12,000 seats in the summer that are sold on the charter series from all around France into the Shannon market. I have no doubt that we could do even better if there was more direct access, certainly on a seasonal period, from the French market into the west of Ireland. It attracts, outside of Dublin, the largest percentage of visitors. Certainly the Connemara area has the greatest resonance for France. 46% of the French market go there, but they have a great time there. They go there in groups, they go there in individuals, and they come back, and it really touches a chord with the French market. So
that's terrific to hear. In fact, and what about the product itself? Are they happy with our product here?
Product is excellent. The feedback is really good, both from the tour operators. You got to remember that the accommodation offering in Ireland is world class. It is outstanding. What they tell me when they come back is they're surprised by such high quality of food that they experience in Ireland, and they're absolutely delighted with the holiday. But more importantly, they tell their friends. Of course, there's scope for growth, and that's what we're there about. In terms of the access, roads infrastructure in Ireland has improved so much that Dublin is a good access point.
Well, that is the point, I think,
is
and
positive.
we need to push that a bit more. That, I mean, when you arrive in Dublin, you can get to the west within a couple of hours now. It's not as if it takes forever like it used to in the past. But the French endorsement of Irish food must be, well, certainly a great benefit to us, obviously. It's something I don't think we make enough of. Would that be your view, the quality of the food here?
I think so. I think it's one thing that comes back to me, how good the food is, but certainly in the marketplaces, Tourism Ireland do go together with Board Bia to do joint promotions, and have been doing so for the last number of years. We do recognise that food is such an integral part of people's holiday, so we must promote the food element. So any opportunities we can to expand outside the pure tourism message with third parties such as Board Bia, we take up, and we also work with other food partners as well, and drink partners such as Guinness, Bulmers, etc. So anything that will enrich the whole holiday experience, we're keen to exploit in the marketplace.
Great. Well, on that positive note, Billy, thank you for talking to us. It's Continental Europe seems to be where it's at for the future, for the west of Ireland at least anyway, and continued good luck with those great results for the year so far.
Thank you very much, Eamon. I appreciate it.